Well, hi there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library. And Calla and I are here today to talk to you about a couple books that we think are absolutely fantastic, and we hope that you will too. So I have been reading so many graphic novels lately. I don't know why, I've just been in the mood for them, and I've actually stumbled across a handful that are just really fantastic. So if you're a person that loves graphic novels, these are definitely ones that you're going to want to try and pick up. Even if you're a person who isn't like the biggest fan of graphic novels, I think that these are compelling enough and the artwork is beautiful enough and the stories are amazing enough that they will draw you in anyway. So the next couple weeks, we're going to probably be talking about some different graphic novels. So buckle up, buttercups. All right, so the very first one I want to talk about is called Invisible. And it's by Christina Diaz Gonzalez and Gabriella Epstein. Invisible. And the top part of it says, how can you be yourself when no one sees the real you? So this graphic novel has been getting a ton of attention lately. So I was really excited to read it and see what everybody was talking about. And I was really glad I did because it was a phenomenal story. So basically this is about 5 kids who are stuck doing community service together. So they at their school, they have to all do community service, and these 5 kids haven't gotten it done. So they have all been grouped together to work in the cafeteria under this really mean lady named Miss Grouser. So she's really mean to them. She's kind of mean to everybody, actually. So they have to work under her. Now, the reason why the principal put them all together is because he thinks, oh, you guys have so much in common. You have so much in common. So one of the main characters, George, can't really figure out what in fact they have in common because they're all very different. George himself is really smart and likes to study and go to school. Sarah is a bit of a loner. Damara is kind of a tough kid. Nico is the rich one of the group. And you've got just all these different personalities, and George can't figure out why they were put together. And then he realizes that it's because they all speak Spanish. So the principal has grouped them all together and said, oh, you know, you guys are all Mexican, you all speak Spanish, which is a huge horrible thing to do because you can't generalize people like that. So all these kids speak Spanish, but they're all different ethnicities and different nationalities. So you've got somebody that's from the Dominican, you've got somebody that's from Puerto Rico. And so you can't just assume everybody that speaks Spanish is Mexican, because that is so wrong. So as you can probably tell, there's tons and tons of microaggressions in this book, mostly from the adults who are treating these kids a certain way because of who they are, but also from each other. So the thing that was really interesting about this was, yes, they all speak Spanish, so there is that you know, similarity between them, but other than that, their personalities are so different. You can even get a kind of a hint of that from the cover. You can see all their different personalities just from the way their expressions are, from the way they're holding themselves, and they have to learn to work together and get over their own biases. For example, they kind of all look down on Nico because he's considered this rich kid, and oh, he probably doesn't work hard or have any problems, but he does. He has his own things that he struggles with, and in fact, each one of these kids struggles with their own problems, like we all do, right? You never know what is going on in somebody's life, so you should always give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And that is a really good lesson of this book. Another good lesson is they befriend as they're working in the cafeteria and outside in the lunch yard. They end up meeting this young woman and her daughter who are currently homeless. They're living out of their van. So these kids have to try to work together to see how they can help this lady and her child, while also doing it under the scrutiny and from the really mean lady who's overseeing them. So watching them learn to work together, watching them learn to overcome, you know, all of the biases they have with each other, and getting out from all the discrimination that they face from the adults in the story, was really amazing to see. So this is a story of friendship. It's a story of school. It's a story of doing the right thing. There's so many aspects to this book that are just absolutely phenomenal. So if you're looking for a really good story, this is a really good one. Oh, and something else that was really cool about this book is that when the students are all talking to each other, remember how I said they all speak Spanish? So they actually show the Spanish words in the text bubbles. So they show the Spanish words and then they show the English translation of that. So you're watching these kids actually talk to each other in Spanish, which is really, really cool. I love that. I mean, I also love the illustrations too. I think they're very down to earth. It reminded me of very much like a, you know, the one that has like enemies and Savannah Chetlava, I think is her name. She does that graphic novel series, Barry Brook Middle School, right? With I can only think of enemies right now, but you know the series I'm talking about. It's got all those ones in there. That's what the artwork kind of reminded me of. But phenomenal story, highly recommend it. Okay, this next one was actually a web comic before it was made into a graphic novel, which is really, really cool because that, like, I feel like establishes a really good fan base, and then when it's published, people are already really hyped and excited to read it. So for a lot of reasons, I was really excited to read this one. I didn't know about it being a web comic before I picked it up. I just really was sold on it based on the cover, which, you know, I'm all for a good cover. And this one is called Scurry by Max Smith. Look at that awesome artwork on this cover. So this is an animal story, but it's also a lot more than that. So it takes place sometime in the future, and something has happened to all the people. All the humans are gone. There are no humans in the story. And there are little hints as to what happened, and you don't really find out everything or even a big part of the story until a lot later on in the graphic novel. But basically, the humans are all gone, something has happened in the future, and there are no more people. But the mice are still living kind of hand to mouth, which, like, they're going from abandoned house to abandoned house trying to scavenge some food. They all live together in this big facility, but their group is torn between the mice who want to stay and try to continue to scavenge, and then the mice who want to try to make it into the nearest city to see if there's more to scavenge there. And one thing that is completely off the table in their minds is the woods. So there's a big, big forest near where they live, but none of them think that they want to live there because they're like, mice can't live in the forest. There's too many dangers. So basically, when a scouting party goes and gets out, they get trapped by cats, and this whole adventure ensues with them trying to get back alive, and to there is some corruption within some of the mouse ranks. If you love animals and you love animal stories, this book is amazing. And I know it's a thicker sort of a graphic novel, but I read it in one night. I couldn't put it down. There's so much adventure and there's so much danger and excitement. This is just one of those graphic novels that starts really fast and doesn't stop the whole time. So it starts with the main character whose name is Wix. Him and his rat friend are in this house trying to get food, and they are ambushed by these cats. So it starts immediately with action, and it just keeps going and keeps going. Because there's a lot of dangers for mice, right? And a lot of that is highlighted. Cats especially. There are wolves in here. There are crows. There are these beavers that they sort of befriend, but they're a little bit of a danger too. There's snakes. Like, there's so many different things that can hurt mice. So there's always this like sense of danger and peril while you're reading this, which is really, really exciting. But really, honestly, the most amazing part of this graphic novel, I think, is the artwork. The colors, the drawing, it's just, all of them are just, it's just beautiful. This is probably one of the most beautiful graphic novels that I've seen all year. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The colors are fantastic. The artwork is just, it's just top notch. Everything is just, it's just so beautiful. So like I said, if you like animal stories, if you like stories that are really exciting, if you're looking for something that, you know, you want to be put on a thrill ride, definitely try this one out. Scurry by Max Smith. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that these graphic novels sound really exciting and fun, and that you're going to learn a lot from them. If so, please feel free to come check them out from Farmington Community Library. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a like. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful rest of the day.